I can't wait to show you my toys.
Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to look at the McFarlane Toys FORTNITE Overtaker and Ice King action figures. Overtaker is simply a skin that you would purchase in the item shop. I don't actually have that skin myself. The Ice King was a little bit different. This is the final skin you would get in Season 7 if you got the Tier 100. Ice King comes with the Infinity Blade. This was a weapon that was introduced during that season, which was completely overpowered. Basically, you'd get in Polar Peak and you'd kill anybody with one hit. Everybody, the entire lobby, would flood to Polar Peak every game. Enough people bitched about it, they ended up removing it after a few weeks. So let's go and check out the packaging here. As you can see, Overtaker's in purple, Ice King's in blue packaging. You can see 22 moving parts, Fortnite, Epic Games, Overtaker, ages 12 plus. There's a little barcode thing here that I've really never known what to do with on these McFarlane figures. They each have it. If anyone knows, please post in the comments below. You can see it comes with a standard pickaxe, weapon, back bling, stand, and figure. The top here, Fortnite Overtaker, got McFarlane Toys Spawn logo. Here's the guy. Here's the guy on the other side, posed up like from the game. Same thing on the other side, just a little bit larger. On the bottom, we have a barcode in case anyone needs it, and a bunch of credits. And the back side here, you can see they've got the two figures from this assortment. They are advertising some gliders on the back, and then a couple of other waves. Here's the first 4 figures, and then kind of the most recent 4 figures they've released. Ice King, pretty much just the same stuff going on the back here, advertising really the exact same figures. So, with no further ado, let's open these guys up. Alright, well now that we got these guys out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. Like I said before, pretty much a standard McFarlane formula: gun, pickaxe, back bling, and stand. Both these guys come with the same amount of accessories, and they're looking pretty cool. But before we look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figures. So here's Overtaker here, looks pretty cool. Kind of like a biker in all white. Love that helmet. I've seen several people online comment about customizing this guy into a 7-inch Storm Shadow figure. Pretty cool idea. Seen a lot of people using Havoc for a Firefly from G.I. Joe. Overall looking pretty cool. He's got that sort of clunky, blocky crotch area. I like the texture here on the front. Like the helmet. Like the fact that he's got a sort of a strap where his sheath from his sword will be holstered. Overall, pretty cool looking guy. I feel like I didn't really know who Overtaker was, so I made the figure, and ever since then I feel like I've seen a ton of him in the game. Probably just because now I'm kind of looking for him. And then the Ice King. Now I must say this is the better of the two figures. This guy's pretty cool. Look at his eyes. Look at his crown. I like the design of his chest. His little flowing, I don't know, robe type thing or whatever. His feet almost look like they're cloven. No one really knows what exactly the Ice King is, but I must say, I know he's a cool figure. So now let's check out their accessories. First of all, each of them came with a McFarlane Fortnite stand. Nothing really special here. It's got the Fortnite logo, 2 different pegs on here, pretty much hollow plastic. I'm not much of a stand guy, so this is just going to go into a huge bin of stands, never to be seen again. Now let's take a look at their back blings. On the left hand side, Overtaker's back bling is called the Lane Splitter. And then on the right, the Ice King's back bling is called the Ice Mantle. Both pretty cool back blings. I do really like the sword back blings that you can get in the Fortnite game. I don't have Overtaker's, but I've got a different one, and it's always fun to use. And then of course, Ice King's back bling goes great with his skin. And then here they are wearing their back blings. You can barely tell from the front. Sure, you can see Overtaker's sword poking out a little bit. Here's how it looks from the back side. And then here's Ice King from the back. And then here are these guys' 2 back blings compared with all the different McFarlane Fortnite back blings. We're starting to get quite a variety to choose from here. And then here are their back blings with all the McFarlane and all the Jazwares back blings. Talk about a lot of choices. One unfortunate thing is The Jazwares McFarlane backblings are not interchangeable between the lines. The peg is fatter on the Jazwares and thinner on the McFarlane. Sure, the weapons and the pickaxes are interchangeable. It's quite unfortunate the backblings are not. Here they are with a couple of other McFarlane FORTNITE figures wearing each other's backblings, showing you they are truly interchangeable and customizable, just like in the game. And then, like I said before, the pegs are simply different. Here is a McFarlane backbling peg, then here's a Jazwares peg. The Jazwares one is actually quite a bit fatter than the McFarlane. So if you were to take a Jazwares figure and try to put the McFarlane backbling in there, it would fit, but it would not stay, kind of falls out very easily. And if you were to take a Jazwares backbling and try to put the McFarlane figures, it really just does not fit. Sure, I could trim it down, but then it wouldn't go back into the Jazwares figures. So I'm just a little bit disappointed that they didn't make that a little bit more interchangeable. And then here there are two pickaxes. On the left, we've got Overtakers. His is the Lug Axe pickaxe. And on the right, we've got Ice Kings. His is the Ice Scepter Pickaxe. I do have the Ice Kings, but not Overtakers. And then here they are, both holding their pickaxes, getting ready to either try to take somebody out with some pickaxe damage or mine for some materials, which is a little bit more likely. And then say Overtaker's walking by, hears a little bit of noise, decides to chop his way, get some brick, as well as get through the wall to find out what's on the other side. And then guess what? It was a chest in there making all that noise. Hopefully it has a legendary scar or rocket launcher in it. And then here are these two pickaxes next to all the different McFarlane pickaxes released so far. And then here they are next to all the different McFarlane and Jazwares pickaxes. Whole lot of different customizable options. And yes, these are interchangeable between the two lines. And then here they are with some other McFarlane FORTNITE figures with their pickaxes swapped out. As you can see, they are truly interchangeable and customizable. I decided to take both Ragnarok and the Ice King and switch their two pickaxes. They're both ice-themed characters with ice sort of pickaxes. I thought they're very appropriate for each other. And then here they are next to some Jazwares figures with their pickaxes swapped, showing you that they are interchangeable between the McFarlane and Jazwares lines. Next, let's check out their two weapons. We got a Suppressed Scar, first time in the McFarlane line. Jazwares has released one. It's got the gray camo color to it, detailing pretty nice. Then we've got this Infinity Blade. This thing is super long. It's almost as tall as the figures. It's got a few holes in it, 3 in the middle there, and then one big one at the base. This thing looks pretty cool, pretty nice detailed. It's going to be able to take out an entire squad by itself. So I wanted to compare the McFarlane Suppressed AR to the Jazwares Suppressed AR. The first thing I notice is the Jazwares one, the paint job is not quite as good. The other thing I notice is they are almost exactly the same size. It almost makes you think, are these the same sculpt? And obviously they're not, but boy, these things are similarly sized. Definitely going to be interchangeable between the two lines. They are, I mean, like literally the same size. Pretty interesting. I like the sort of shading or different sort of shiny, how it almost changes color as you move the light on it. But this one here, definitely overall better execution. This one's little bit bendable. And this one, I mean, they're made out of a different sort of plastic. I can't explain it. They're both a little bit bendable on the tips, but they definitely have a different feel to them. And as you can see here, McFarlane has made 3 different types of assault rifles. At the top we've got the regular assault rifle. The next one is a legendary assault rifle, also called a Scar. And then at the bottom we've got the suppressed assault rifle. And then here each of these guys holding their weapons. And then they can both hold the weapons with 2 hands as well. You can see Overtaker holding this right hand, supporting it with his left hand. And then you can see Ice King holding the sword up with 2 hands, getting ready to make his move. And then here they are with their weapons swapped out with some other McFarlane FORTNITE figures. Definitely interchangeable, works with each character. And then here they are exchanging weapons with Jazwares and McFarlane figures, showing you that the weapons are interchangeable between the two different lines. Now that we've taken a good look at these guys' accessories, next let's check out some custom accessories or substitutes that I use for my Fortnite figures. Here they are next to a treasure chest. It's a little bit oversized scale-wise to them. This was made by the Jazwares company. It's actually for the 4-inch line. It's not scale with them, but it did come with a bunch of loot inside that works with the 4-inch figures. Even though it's a little bit large, I'm definitely happy to have at least one chest for my Fortnite figures. And then here they are being pushed in a shopping cart. This shopping cart I got at a meeting at work many years ago. You can see two different duos fighting each other. This shopping cart is slightly oversized compared to the McFarlane figures. McFarlane is actually making a shopping cart in the near future. I believe it's going to be some sort of deluxe pack, shopping cart plus a figure. The shopping carts that they showed look to be sized pretty much exactly like these though. Even though the shopping cart has been vaulted for a while, still pretty cool to have one for the figures. Or two for that matter. And then here's the Ice King as he's covering for Overtaker as he opens a llama. He's going to get a whole bunch of mats and shields in there. Obviously this llama is a little bit overscaled for these guys, and it's a stuffed animal. I thought it was kind of cool, grabbed it a long time ago, and definitely use it for my figures sometimes. And then here are these guys trying to be on the lookout as they're using a campfire, trying to heal up. This campfire is made by NECA, and it came with a Friday the 13th Jason figure. And then here they are getting ready to throw a basketball at each other. This is sort of a useless item in the game. I believe in Season 4 you could earn being able to throw a basketball. There's a challenge to throw it into a basketball hoop, and you can still throw a basketball at somebody to this day. I do enjoy knocking somebody and then throwing a basketball at them, sort of playing with them, but it doesn't actually do any damage. It's a useless but fun item. These basketballs came with a NECA Alien Resurrection Ripley 8. And then here they are with a couple of Jazwares accessories. You can see the Ice King getting ready to throw a tomato at Overtaker. Then we've got Overtaker holding both a grenade and a boogie bomb. These are some Jazwares accessories that do work for the McFarlane figures. The tomato is very similar to the basketball. Another useless item that you can throw at one of your friends or enemies. And then here they are with a couple more Jazwares accessories. You can see the Lich King holding a rift to go. He's going to wait until Overtaker finishes using his med kit and then rift on out of there. Do love how many accessories we're getting between the two lines, giving you so many different options for display and play. And then here are these guys wearing some balloons, getting ready to jump across the map with ease. Even though the balloons are vaulted, I still do enjoy using these for these figures. These actually came with a NECA Pennywise It figure, and with the upcoming It Fortnite collaboration, these are more appropriate than ever. The next question I had was, are they able to use the McFarlane Quad Crasher? And as you can see here, Overtaker can drive while Ice King stays in the back. Overtaker's a little bit rough to get in the way his crotch is designed, very similar to Jonesy, so he can't fit in there. And then as you can see here, yeah, the Ice King can drive it. He doesn't fit in there quite as good as Overtaker, and Overtaker has no problem standing in the back. The next question I had was, how do they stack up with the McFarlane gliders? Well, here's a glider with its launch pad base. They scale up pretty nicely so far, but of course, these are made from McFarlane, so they're meant to be for these figures. And as you can see, they scale up just fine with the launch pad part. And then yes, they do fit onto the gliders just fine. Now that we've taken a very in-depth look at their accessories and what else you can use for them, next let's check out the height of the figure. So Overtaker here, he's sitting at about 6 3/4 inches. Ice King here sitting at about 7 1/4 inches, and if you go to the top of his crown, a good 7 1/2 inches. Next, let's check out their articulation. So Overtaker here, of course he has a head. He can turn around, a little bit obstructed from his jacket here. You can look down, up, really not much at all. His shoulders, they go up a little bit more than 90 degrees. They're on a ball joint, and there is a separate piece of articulation here between the shoulder and the arm. I think it's called a butterfly joint. He's got a bicep cut below there. He's got double jointed elbows that can go all the way in. He's got a wrist that can rotate around and it's hinged as well. He's got sort of an ab crunch and a waist swivel here. He can go around, he can go forward and back a little bit. Then he's got another ball joint down here. It has a lot less range of motion going side to side or forward and back. If you do his head and his waist and his legs straight, he can look down about that far and up a lot because of this, not because of his neck or this. And his crotch area here, kind of blocky, kind of bulky. It's like a Skull Trooper or Jonesy. Legs can go out about that far. Now, there's sort of 2 points of articulation almost. We've got this area inside of here that can rotate, and then we've got some articulation on here as well. This thing can go forward, really not much. This is really blocking it. It can go out, not quite full 90 degrees, back, really not at all. Double jointed knees here, and go that far back. Then his feet have sort of a ball joint here, then go forward and back, and you can rotate the ball so that they can go from side to side if you really want them to. It's kind of a pain the way it works. Really reminds me of DC Essentials figures. So if you wanted to rock it, you'd have to rotate this ball around, rotate the foot back. Then you can kind of rock the foot on the side. So then Lich King here, seems like his head can't do anything. I can't seem to get it to turn, look up, do any of that stuff. It's not just the hood, but the actual head itself can't move either. Boy, that makes me think of Monster Energy drinks. So his shoulders, they can go out a little more 90 degrees, a little bit obstructed from this piece of armor here that can rotate and kind of get out of your way. It's got a similar sort of thing from Overtaker. It's got a ball joint inside of here, and then there's a little piece of plastic between his arm and his torso area that can also move. You can sort of see it in there doing its thing. Bicep cut below that, as well as the armor that can move. Double jointed elbows. Wrist can rotate and it's hinged. His ab crunch and waist articulation is lower. Can go around no problem, forward and back about that far. He does not have a second one down here. His legs, crotch area is a little bit less bulky than the other figure. They can go out a whole lot more, really easy. Same type of articulation inside of here. Then go forward about that far, back about that far. He does have double jointed knees, but this huge bit of armor between them. Same sort of ball joint inside of here. It can go forward and back, and if you wanted to rotate the ball, you could rock the legs. He also has toe articulation. Something I forgot to mention with Overtaker here. He also has toe articulation. Next, let's check these guys out compared with some other Fortnite figures, starting with some McFarlane ones. Here they are next to the most recently released assortment of Fortnite figures from McFarlane. We've got AIM and Ragnarok. Here they are next to the assortment before that. We've got Jonesy and the Dark Bomber. And here they are next to a whole gang of wildcard figures. And then here they are next to one of each of the McFarlane Fortnite figures they've released so far. And we've got a ton upcoming on the horizon. And then here they are next to my entire collection of McFarlane Fortnite figures. You may notice there are some doubles here. At the top we've got 4 wild cards. I wanted to get each of their faces to use them as a Royal Flush gang in my Batman world. Then we've got 8 Skull Troopers, 4 original and 4 of the Green Glow. I use these guys for Scarecrow henchmen of a Batman world. And then at the bottom we've got one of each of the remaining Fortnite McFarlane figures. And then here they are next to the entire collection of Jazwares Fortnite figures. The Jazwares figures are 6-inch and the McFarlane ones are 7-inch. So there's a little bit of a scale difference. Me personally, I'm not picky on scale. I'm just going to throw them all into a huge battle royale and have fun with it. There are currently 8 Jazwares figures released. Series 1 had 6 figures. Series 2 also has 6 figures, but I've only been able to obtain 2 of them so far. We've got much more of them coming on the horizon, as well. And then here they are next to my entire 6 and 7 inch Jazwares and McFarlane FORTNITE collection. You may notice a lot of doubles. The wild cards were for Royal Flesh Gang in my Batman world. The Rabbit Raiders are for Mad Hatter Henchmen. The Skull Troopers for Scarecrow Henchmen. And then at the bottom we've got all the other individual figures. And then here are these guys as they're taking on the world, trying to get the win. One duo among a whole bunch of players. As you can see here, here's the whole gang geared up, getting ready to fight each other, trying to get the win, each one of them. As you can see here, they're gliding, they're sniping, they're getting loot, they're shooting each other, they're driving, pushing carts, all kind of stuff. They're healing, more loot. All these guys trying to see who can get the win. Alright, so 2 more McFarlane FORTNITE figures checked off the list. Overtaker is nice, but Ice King is even nicer. He looks really cool. I actually have the skin for Ice King, which makes me like it even more. It is just kind of fun when you actually have these skins. You can play them in the game as well as have the figures. I do find the McFarlane toys are quite superior to the Jazwares figures. McFarlane has a stronger sculpt and detail. Jazwares does come with more accessories though. If I were to rate these figures, I'd go ahead and give Overtaker something like a 7 out of 10 and Ice King an 8 out of 10. He is really nice. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this, and I will talk to you guys real soon.